Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive, beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation. And it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations presents The Eternal Light. This public service program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Today's story, written by Morton Wishengrad, is entitled The Bar Mitzvah of Private Cohen, and features Stacey Harris as the sergeant and Jack Lloyd as Private Cohen. Following the dramatic portion of the program, you will hear a talk by Rabbi Max D. Davidson.
Maybe I'm not the one who ought to tell this story. I'm just a sergeant. But anyhow, you're listening to me, and if you want to make something out of it, you know what you can do. Well, coming to the point, this is the story of Private First Class Cohen, a little kid that he found, and the chaplain. Mostly it's the story of how Private Cohen got to be bar mitzvah. If you don't know what that means, you're ignorant, same as me. So stick around. How come a loud bluff like me gets sort of wet in the eyes when he hears singing like that? Well, you can put it down to the chaplain. I don't say that nobody rolls the dice since the rabbi is assigned to this sector, but he's what you might call a decent influence. And on him, it looks good. Well, coming to the point, this happened in Germany, just after the German High Command signed a little paper for Eisenhower. Private Cohen came to me and spilled the whole story. Right away, I knew we had to see the chaplain.
Listen, Sarge, I tell you the chaplain can't do anything about it.
Cohen, you and me is going in and talk to him.
But, Sarge, I swear it's 7 years too late. I'm 20.
Private Cohen, you want to get to be 21?
Sure.
Then come on.
All right, don't push me. I'm a little nervous.
Nervous Cohen, pride of the regiment.
You got a cigarette?
Okay. Today I can afford it. Take one.
Thanks. Got a match?
Don't you ever carry anything? Here.
Thanks, Sarge. In case you don't know, the cigarette is stale as usual.
Oh, so now you're a critic. And stop changing the subject. Chaplain ain't got all day. Cohen, inside.
What's the trouble, Sergeant?
Chaplain, what happens to a Jewish boy when he gets to be 13 years old?
Why, he's called before the congregation, reads the Haftorah, and is formally admitted to the congregation of Israel.
That's bar mitzvah, right?
Yes, the ceremony of confirmation.
You been bar mitzvah, Chaplain?
Oh, certainly.
Well, Chaplain, look at Cohen here. Now, he ain't like me. He can talk geometry.
Sarge, believe me, you don't talk geometry.
Shut up. Look at him, Chaplain, smoking my cigarettes. I'd give him a rap in the teeth. Well, Chaplain, Private Cohen here ain't never been bar mitzvahed.
Is that right, soldier?
Yes, Chaplain. It was the Depression. My folks didn't have beans. I had to quit school and go to work. So I wasn't confirmed. Chaplain, that's the truth.
That's all right. Jewish boy enters the congregation of Israel when he's 13, whether he's called to the Torah or not. No one excludes you from the services, do they?
I know that, Chaplain. But, well, it's on my conscience. I got through the shooting all right, but, well, maybe we'll be sent to the Japanese front and, well, a fella can't tell. Do you think, Chaplain, you You might stretch it, Point.
Well, it's really not necessary, Private Cohen.
It's necessary to me, sir.
But the entire point of confirmation is the calling of the young boy to the altar in the presence of the congregation.
Then call me to the altar, Chaplain.
Well, you'll have to learn the portion for the week.
Just you teach me, sir.
Well, there's a good deal more, Private. Reading the daily prayers, studying Hebrew, putting on the phylacteries, learning the benedictions. Perhaps several hours a day for weeks.
Whenever you want to begin, sir.
Well, I'm fairly certain there's no rabbinical precedent for my action.
But you'll help me, Chaplain?
I'll be very glad to see that you're confirmed, Private Cohen.
I'm going to send a letter to my mother, Chaplain. She'll be pretty happy.
You ain't kidding.
Well, what a cute little bar mitzvah boy.
Hey, Sarge, today I am a man.
None of that, you mug.
Come here, Cohen. I want to pinch your cheek.
I said none of that.
Sure, fellas, why don't you leave me alone? I got to study.
Okay. What are you studying?
Oh, just some Hebrew.
And nobody making it crack, see?
Who said anything, Sergeant?
You did, Cooper, and I don't like it. Now, go ahead and read, Cohen.
Mizmor LeDavid. Adonai roi lo echsor. Binos deshe yabitzeni. Al me menuchos yenahaleni. Nafshi yeshovev. Yancheni b'magle tzedek leman shemo.
Ah, you hear that, wise guys? Now, tell them what it means, Cohen.
The Song of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. You fellows know the rest.
Yeah.
Anybody want to laugh?
That's okay, Sarge. Yeah, sure.
All right, you guys. Scram, he's got to work, see? Well, don't you want Private Cohen to be bar mitzvahed? Now, go ahead, beat it. After that, nobody kids Private Cohen. The outfit moves on, but the lessons, they don't stop. And nobody says a thing. Then one day, me and Cohen are in a German town, and Cohen starts giving me the usual treatment.
You got a cigarette?
Oh, quit mooching. Here.
Thanks, Sarge. Got a match?
Here, burn yourself.
Thanks. Sergeant, what do you do to make them so stale?
Would you shut up? I'll recite your lesson, Mug, and do it good.
All right. Nafshi yeshovev yancheni b'magle tzedek leman shemo.
Gam ki eleh b'gei salmove.
Hey.
It's a little kid.
Hey, you. Hey, where you going? You. Come and see here.
I don't mean anything harm.
Holy cats, he speaks English. Ooh, and what English?
You got chocolate?
Hey, Cohen, is this a relative? Kid, where'd you learn to speak American?
In Chicago, we stay with Swedish family.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Where'd you learn to speak Hebrew?
In Poland.
Well, then what in Adolf's name are you doing in Germany?
I live here.
Cohen, I think I need an aspirin. Will you take over before I go nuts?
What's your name, Sonny?
Solomon Gruenwald.
Where's your father?
Dead.
Oh. Your mother?
Dead.
Any brothers or sisters?
Nazis killed them all.
How'd you come to be here?
Was born here.
And Chicago?
The World's Fair. I was very young. Papa was in civil service. What you call a technical man. He do things at German exhibition. The next year we go to Poland.
There's some chocolate, kid.
Thank you.
Sonny, why didn't the Germans get you?
People here hide me. Every week a different family.
Come on, Sonny, come with me.
Hey, where are you taking him?
To the chaplain, naturally. This boy needs a home. If anybody can do it, I guess the chaplain can.
Now, the chaplain ain't what you might call an unoccupied man. All he does is conduct services every day, visit the wounded, bury the dead, give advice to no-good dice players like Corporal Cooper, write letters to your old lady back home, make a man out of Private Cohen, so now he also has the kid on his hands. That's war. But the chaplain, he don't seem to mind. Even though the kid can drive 6 angels nuts with questions.
This chaplain, what is, please?
My insignia, Sonny. Private Cohen, how many times you supposed to wind the phylactery strap around your middle finger?
I'll get it straight. Just give me time.
What an insignia, chaplain?
The 10 Commandments. Private, 7 twists now around the left arm. Space them evenly.
I'm getting it.
He is very old to be bar mitzvah.
Look, kid, don't you have to go someplace?
No.
Sure, I figured that. Maybe you'd like to fill your mouth with chocolate, huh?
Thank you very much. It's good. Where will be bar mitzvah?
Swallow the chocolate first, Sonny. We hold services in a big tent.
Better in our synagogue.
What's that? I was told there was no synagogue here.
Nazis use it for stable, for horses. It's not good.
Good Lord, can you show us where it is?
When I finish chocolate.
Hurry up, kid.
I guess he yumping the be bar mitzvah.
Soldier, get a cleanup detail. Tell the sergeant to ask for volunteers. Private Cohen, you're going to be confirmed in a real synagogue.
Okay, guys, the chaplain wants volunteers. You volunteer, Cooper.
Huh? Oh, sure, Sarge. I was going to do it anyhow.
Okay, you 6 will do.
Got room for one more, Sarge.
Right you are, Mac. Now, buckets, fellas. Buckets and plenty of soap.
You got some room for me, Sergeant?
Yeah, it's mighty decent of you, Mooney.
Oh, save it. Gibson and Christensen are going to meet us outside the synagogue.
Got a cigarette, Sergeant?
Shut up, you moocher. Come on, guys.
Well, Sarge,
Do we go in or don't we?
what's the matter, Sergeant?
I don't know. Hey, you guys, fall back.
What's eating you?
Fall back.
Oh, these buckets of water are making me round-shouldered.
Come on, step back. I don't like the looks of that synagogue door.
You think it's booby-trapped?
I wouldn't put nothing past the Krauts. Hey, where's our little bar mitzvah boy?
You mean me, Sergeant?
Yeah, give me that wire. Don't use taking any chances.
You've been reading too many books, Sarge.
Don't get wise.
If that there door is booby-trapped, why, I swear to Lord, I'll mend my ways.
I'll hold you to that. Give me room, fellas. Okay, guys, watch it.
Well, come on in, fellas. It looks like I still have to be a sinner.
Well, I looked all over for booby traps, except in the right place. Maybe if the chaplain and his aide had been there, it wouldn't have happened. That would have been the first place they would have looked. But they got called away until the day of Private Cohen's bar mitzvah. Yeah. That was quite a day. The whole outfit came to see. Christensen and Mooney couldn't understand why they had to wear their hats in the synagogue, and I guess I never got around to explaining. Well, coming to the point, Private Cohen stood up in front of the congregation, and he read the prayer just like it should have been read. And the chaplain, well, he was happy.
Men, you've just seen a young man confirmed in the faith of Bible. Here in this synagogue, which a pagan nation converted into a stable, and which you have reconverted to the use of God, an act of spiritual dedication was performed. I think I understand now the dictum, Kol hamakayem nefesh achas mi-Yisrael, ke'ilu kiyem olam moleh. He who saves a single life is as one who saves the whole world. I think I understand the Quaker who said that in every man and woman there is something that is not of earth nor of dust, nor of flesh, nor of time, but of God. The Germans have not believed this. That is their crime against the dignity and godliness of every human being. Now I wish to deposit a token here of man's godliness. Private Cohen.
Yes, Chaplain.
You read the biblical portion from this small Torah in my prayer case. But I have here a larger Torah, which has been flown from London and paid for by the men sitting in the benches before you. It's their bar mitzvah gift to you and to this synagogue.
Chaplain, I guess I just can't talk.
You don't have to talk. Private Cohen, for more than 6 years, no Jew has opened the Ark of the Covenant that stands here in this synagogue. On this day of your confirmation, I should like you to open the Ark and place within this holy scroll.
Thank you, Chaplain. My mother will be... You know what I mean?
That was the booby trap we didn't look for. Private Cohen, he just lay there with the Holy Scroll still in his arms and the warm blood running over it. We just sat. We just didn't know. It was the chaplain who got to him first and carried him to the hospital.
Soldier, can you hear me? Here's the sergeant.
Yes, Sarge.
Save your strength, kid.
No, it's okay. It doesn't hurt much. Chaplain.
Yes, soldier.
Back in my billet. You'll find it with my stuff. Let it to my mother. Send it to her, please.
No, kid, no. You'll send it yourself.
Yeah, I know.
All right, soldier.
The address is 249 Ashford Place, Lancaster, PA. Tell her I was confirmed.
I'll tell her.
Her name is Sarah Cohen.
Sure. I won't forget.
Thanks. Sarge.
Yeah, kid?
Got a cigarette, Sarge?
Mooching again, huh? Here.
Got a match?
Private Cohen, all you got's the habit.
Yeah, like living. Gonna break the habit, I guess. Chaplain, is mola David Adonai hoi lo erso. Say it for me, please. Maybe your aide can sing the words.
Yes, of course. He'll sing the words. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guideth me in straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
I guess his mother will want everything he had, Chaplain. It's all in the bundle.
I'm glad you came with me, Sergeant.
Chaplain, I'm dumb and all mixed up. What's it all about? He got through the fighting all right, and then to get it like that. Chaplain, it ain't right.
No. Yet all we can say is, blessed be the righteous judge.
You think the war's stopped, and it hasn't stopped. Maybe it don't ever stop. Here, the bundle's tied good and tight.
I'll take it with me, Sergeant. Mrs. Sarah Cohen, 249 Ashford Place.
Yeah. Dear Madam, under separate cover, please find the prayer shawl and Bible of your bar mitzvah boy. Oh, it's a lousy world, ain't it, Chaplain? It'll never be any better.
I don't believe that, Sergeant. It takes time, but it will come. You just got to believe that the world will get better. Sickness passes.
I don't see it, Chaplain. I don't see nothing.
You must see it, Sergeant. You must believe in it.
Nope. Not me.
You will, Sergeant. I'm sure you will.
You can fight a war and see 100 dead guys, but you never get used to it. It ain't like a bank teller counting $20 bills that ain't got value for him anymore. You live with guys, you bury them, but you never get used to it. You wonder what it's all for. Sure, the chaplain said it could be a good world, but you need people to make it good. That's what he meant. Maybe I didn't understand him, but I understood the kid. Maybe that's why I told you the whole story of Private Cohen's bar mitzvah. Because of what happened to me with that funny little kid we picked up in the German town. The kid who was always asking questions.
What is in newspaper, Sergeant?
Nothing, kid, nothing at all.
What it says on the map?
It's just a newspaper map, kid. Don't ask me no questions.
A map of the world?
Yeah, the whole rotten world. Sonny, why don't you go away? I don't want to talk.
If you don't talk with me, I have nothing to do.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Look, kid, this'll keep you busy. Here's the map, see? Now, we'll make a puzzle of it. And now you take the torn pieces and put it back together. It's a puzzle, see?
It's good, a puzzle.
Yeah, kid, especially this one. My generation tears up the map, and your generation puts it together. Now, go away and take 2 hours. Just don't bother me.
Okay. I take it in next room. Sure, I take it and bring it back when I finish puzzle. Maybe it won't take very long. Sergeant.
Yeah?
Puzzle all finished. I bring back finished puzzle.
Look, kid, you just left. Go back and do it right.
But puzzle all finished.
You finished?
Sure. It was very simple.
Well, kid, I don't get it. How'd you do it so soon?
It was easy. On other side of page was picture of man. Once I put together picture of man, map of world come out all right. See? It's all right.
Yeah, kid. Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. Yeah, you got the man straight, and the whole world came out all right. Sure, kid, sure. Okay.
Copies of the script you have just heard may be obtained without cost by writing to The Eternal Light, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. And now we take pleasure in presenting Rabbi Max D. Davidson, Rabbi of the Congregation Beth Mordecai of Perth Amboy, New Jersey, and Chairman of the Rabbinical Assembly Convention, which opens in New York tonight. Rabbi Davidson.
When the whole story of this war is told, some poet of a future generation will tell of the fighting without guns, heroism without medals or ribbons, sacrifice without music. A dramatic chapter will record the service of the Jewish chaplains in the American Army and Navy, almost 300 in number. These Jewish chaplains are establishing new relationships between minister and congregant. Men and women in service are coming to their chaplains, their rabbis. Some of them may have drifted far from the faith of their fathers. Many of them are coming under the compulsion of a great crisis far away from home, or because they see life and death dealt with so casually all around them, or simply because they don't understand themselves as Jews. So they come to their chaplains. Unlike civilian congregations, they are not seeking sweet eloquence in the pulpit. They are not trying to erect imposing buildings. They are seeking something more eloquent than oratory, more permanent than brick and stone. They are seeking and they are finding knowledge of the great tradition of Judaism. They want and they get counsel and comfort and courage. Like the engineers who build a bridge, they are conquering the enemy. The trappings are very simple. The sanctuary may be an Aron Kodesh built into a trunk and set up on the banks of the Rhine, or it may be the stump of a tree on a Pacific island. Their Ner Tamid, their eternal light, may be a shining star or a jungle moon. Not all their religious experiences are as dramatic as the bar mitzvah of Private Cohen, but many a boy has had his faith confirmed through the influence of the rabbis in uniform, the 300 rabbis, Jewish chaplains, who are now serving on land, on sea, and in the air all over the world. Their service is a symbol and a token, a promise of Jewish religious life in America after the war.
Thank you, Rabbi Davidson. The Bar Mitzvah of Private Cohen was written by Morton Wishengrad. The music was composed by Henry Brandt and conducted by Milton Catums. Cantor David Putterman of the Park Avenue Synagogue, New York, was the soloist. The sergeant was played by Stacey Harris, Jack Lloyd appeared as Private Cohen, and Roger de Koven was the chaplain. The entire production was under the direction of Frank Papp. This program has been a public service presentation of the National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations, and was brought to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. If you would like a free copy of the script, write to The Eternal Light, 3080 Broadway, New York, 27, New York.